Hey everybody. You know, when I learned that people like to see you when you're down, I knew at that point I understood the game. But later on in life, you start to take things personal. And that means there's more lessons that need to be learned. And that was what happened with me. Um, if you've seen Neo in The Matrix, there was one scene where he was very nonchalant and Agent Smith was attacking him, and he was doing Aikido, as this older man on YouTube once said. And he wasn't hitting the person; he was deflecting the attack, basically. And so I became a mirror, and I decided that once I understood the games that people play, I could play it better. But people say, well, the best way to play the game is not to not play it. Sometimes you're in situations where you're stuck with the person and you have a choice to leave, but the situation is not that serious. And so you realize that you are in control of your life. So you become the teacher, and this is your lesson. And you become that person's lesson. And so I think what ends up happening sometimes with me is a lot of people is we don't think that we are good enough to say that we can teach somebody something. You know, the teachers in school, like they are some powerful people, man. You think about it, to be sitting in front of hundreds of people and hundreds of kids throughout their entire career, thousands, right? And most people are afraid to be up on stage. Me as a person, I show up and I show out. And it's crazy because people don't always say what they mean sometimes. And when I started to say what I mean, it started off when I realized when you go to bed at night and you feel like you could have said something to somebody that was disrespectful towards you, and so you realize that you have that same effect, that same thing called resentment. And that was what I had throughout my entire life since I was a child. And what would happen is it would come out in spurts of sarcasm. It would come out into people that didn't even hurt me. You know, I would take it out on my family unconsciously at times, and it's not good. And so I became very sensitive with my own energy, that I didn't even like my own feelings when I emit this negativity that was just building up inside. And so I decided that every time I say something that people think that I won't say to them when they give me a hard time, I used to be afraid to do it because I would be afraid to hurt them. Not because I was afraid of me, I was afraid of hurting them. But then I realized, are they afraid of hurting me? And so instead of trying to bring them down, I would put a mirror to their face, and I would make them understand what they do is not the same if I were to do it to them. And certain things I don't do. I mean, it's not anything crazy. It's just, if somebody said something hurtful to me, I might say it back to them. And I start to look at their reaction. They're like, "Damn, that kind of hurt." That I can't believe I said that to you. But then there's some people that just don't care. The people that don't care, they are ruthless. Ruthless records, easy E, man. And that's when you have to move away really fast. When I was younger, I could tunnel vision people right away. And I would just cut people off, no explanations, if they pissed me off to that point. But then I learned that, maybe Alex, you need to understand them more. Maybe you're the one that's wrong. And so that's what happened with me. And then what happened was leading me to be the person I am today. I became more compassionate and patient. But I'm going back to the savage mode, except a little bit more classy about it. And you stand up for something instead of falling for everything, anything.